What's going on, everyone? Alright, today I'm be working on the RSX again, like I always am. We're going to be, you can see this here, converting my rear bumper, the taillights, all that good stuff on the rear. This is a 2002 Acura RSX Type S. I did the 0506 front conversion a long time ago, and I've actually had this 0506 rear conversion sitting in the garage for, I don't know, a couple years now. It's taken me this long to get to it. I just recently got it painted, the rear bumper. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do. What you need, if you have an 02 through 04 and you want to do this conversion, you need the 0506 bumper, you need the 0506 tail lights, both of them, you need the bumper brackets, both sides, and if you can get it, the wiring harness for the tail lights. I don't know right offhand how much of this I'll need to use. I know the sockets are going to be different for the lights. I'm not sure if there's anything else, but when I go back in the back and I take off the 0204 stuff, I'll look and see what I need to take off this. Maybe use all of it. Maybe you just clip some of the connectors off and just resolder them to my stock wiring. I don't know yet. We'll get there later on. But yeah, that's what you need if you're going to do the 0506 conversion here. So this is what the 0204 rear looks like. Don't mind these jumper cables. I haven't driven the car in a long time, so the battery's dead. But yeah, this is it here. So you can see the 0204 has the scoops, kind of like the old Integra, how they had the bubble eyes. So I don't particularly care for this. I like the straight line. It's a cleaner look to me. So that's why I'm changing it out. So I'll be taking all this stuff off. I'll be taking off this S2K diffuser. And then once I get the other bumper back on, I'll throw this back on, and it should fit right up. It should match up. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'll walk you through the process of taking the rear bumper off, the taillight brackets and all that good stuff, and then we'll walk through wiring everything up, putting all the brackets in. I do know there's, I think some of these tabs here, either the tabs or one of these screws doesn't quite line up with the 0204, and you'll have to drill it or break it off. I'm most likely going to drill it because I want to keep everything intact. And yeah, so let me go ahead and show you how to take this rear bumper off. Alright, I'm going to do a quick rundown of what you need to do, and then I'll show you actually through video. But there should be one bolt up in here. Can't really see, but there's one bolt up in here on each side. You got to take that out. And then once you take that out, you got to remove this piece from your rear. That gives you access to the back of the tail light, and you'll undo the 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 4 bolts. Disconnect your light bulbs and pull this out. And yeah, just the screw on each side, and then you should be able to pop your bumper right here along the body line here. And there's little tabs here, kind of like your front bumper. You'll just pop them out. That's all you do, and then you'll pull it off. If you have your tail light here, make sure you disconnect that before you fully take off your bumper. And after that, your bumper should be free, and then you'll get your tail lights out, and then we'll take the brackets off, put the new brackets on, install the new tail lights. After we mark up the hole we need to drill that out, put everything back. Before we do that, I'll take a look at this harness here to see what I need to change over, and that's basically a rough overview of what we're going to do. So yeah, let me go ahead and take these bolts out, get this bumper off, get the taillights out, and then examine this wire harness here. Okay, got the bumper off. Super simple. One bolt on each side, and then pop the tabs on each side, then pull it right off. Like I said, be careful about your tail light or your license plate light. Gotta take that off, and you also want to take the light itself from the bumper. It went down in here, right up in here. Take that off. We're gonna have to reuse that. Yeah. So this is what it is without the bumper. Tail lights are pretty simple too. I'm gonna get 4. I believe they look like 8mm maybe. Bolts out on the nuts on the studs here. There's 4 of them, just like the other lights. Take those out, take these clips out, and then pull these out. And then the brackets here, there's only 1 bolt there, 1 bolt here, and those will come right off and we'll put the new ones on. So yeah, let me get to that real quick, get that knocked out, and we'll work on this wiring. Alrighty, got the taillights out, the brackets out. One thing I want to note here is that these taillights are actually screwed in to the brackets down here. You see one screw right there, another one down there. I found it easier just to leave those screws in after you take the 4 bolts off from here and disconnect the bulbs. All you have to do is, the studs are right here, just take those 2 tendons off. So these are 2 10mm bolts, take those off, and then the whole bracket with the tail light will come out. I found that easier just to take everything, just to take the light out and then do the bracket. Keeps it all one piece, and both sides are exactly the same. So you got 4 8mm bolts holding the back of the tail light, 2 10s holding the bracket to the actual frame, and that's it for both sides. So yeah, that's how you take the tail lights out. Pretty simple. What I got to do now is compare the 0204 wiring harness to the 0506 wiring harness I got over here, and then see what's different about it, see what I need to use, see what I don't need to use, wire up what I do need to use, and then connect everything together. So once I get the wiring issue figured out, then I'll mock up the 0506 taillights on here, see what holes I need to drill for both sides. After I do that, I'll be able to throw those on with the 0506 brackets, and after I get those brackets on, I'll be able to throw the bumper on. So that's the process there. Let me go ahead and check out this wiring. Alright, before I do the wiring, just a quick note. You see this is the back of the tail light, and you see this gasket here. If y'all are having problems where you're getting water in your trunk after it rains, this is most likely the cause that will happen. Is this either you don't have your gasket there, or it's eroded, or it's bad, it's broken, something like that. It's letting water get through the seal. And so what happens is when it rains on your hatch here, the water rolls right here and it rolls down, and then right here is where your headlight sits, and it rolls on your headlights and then it rolls on the back side. If you don't have that gasket, or the gasket's broken somewhere along these holes here, water will seep through here, run down into the bottom of your trunk. So if you're having that problem, this is just a side note. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, this gasket is most likely the problem if you're having water in your trunk. So yeah, if you want to double check that, that's good to double check if you're doing this conversion. I know those already have the gaskets on there and they're in pretty good condition, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, just a side note. Alright, I think I'm going to come to a stopping point right here, call it a day. It's getting kind of late outside, can't really tell. It's also starting to rain. So I got rain blowing in on me because I got my car right here, garage open. But I'm going to call it a day. I have a bad habit of starting work on my car like late in the afternoon. I need to stop doing that so I have more time in the day to finish what I need to do. But I'm going to pick up tomorrow. This is what I got done so far. You can see here I got one light mocked up. I'll go through this tomorrow when I pick back up. But yeah, I took a look at the wiring. I compared them. I'll show you all that tomorrow. So I know what I need to do with the wiring. I know what I need to do with drilling the holes and things like that. And I'll try to throw in tomorrow when I explain what bulbs we need. I'll try to throw in the part numbers and stuff like that for the connectors and stuff. So I'll do all that tomorrow, but I'm gonna call it a night tonight. Weather's kind of bad, so yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, guys, it's the next morning. This is where I'm at right here with the wiring harness. I'm gonna walk you through what I did here. So you see, this is still my stock 0204 wiring harness. The only thing I used from the 0506 was the reverse light, and I cut it off right. This is the old one from the 0204, and this is where it would have been right here, but this is the 0506 because the plugs are different. If it'll focus. Oh, okay. Well, this is the 0204, and I just put the 0506. That's the only thing I'm using off the 0506 harness for now. What I did was, you can see this plug. This is the stock 0204. This one would have been the, let me see here, the outside. So this would have just been like a brake light. So you had two brake lights. Here, let me get this here so it's easier to explain. So 0204, you had one turn signal, two brake lights, and then reverse light. The 0506 only has one reverse light, and then a turn signal supposed to be, and then one brake light. So this would have been your turn signal, this would have been your brake light, and that's your reverse light. 0506 only had one brake light, while the 0204 had two brake lights. So the way I have it wired right now, and I figured this is the easiest way to wire it so you don't have to chop a lot of the harness off, is to take this would have been the, where I cut this wire right here, this would have been the turn signal for the 0204, but instead I converted, I chopped this green wire off and then tied it in with a white wire on the actual brake light, and this is still the 0204 stop plug. So what I did there was cut that off, and that makes this send signal to make this one flash when you use your blinker on both sides. And then this also allows for both these lights to light up when you push the brake. So this was the easiest way I found the wiring to work. I actually just got done testing it. So yeah, that's how I'm using the wiring, because you only cut one wire, tap it into the white wire on the outside light plug, and then cut off the reverse light. Well, that's not the reverse light plug. The reverse light plug, completely cut off the 0204 one, and then put on the 0506 one. And they're pretty, the colors match the same. So green to green, black to black. And then that side's done. And then I'll move on to this side. So let me show you something real quick. So for the bulbs on the 0506, this is the 0204 headlight. This is the 0506 headlight. This socket here is for the reverse. This bulb here, that's the reverse, but it's the same socket that if you have your daytime running lights, right here, the socket right here that goes on this side for this corner light right here. This daytime running light socket fits the rear reverse light bulb. So if you have the running lights on your tail lights for your 0204, you can just take the running lights off and use them for there, and you won't have to use any of these. It does call for a different brake light in the middle, socket wise, but this is what I did. So everything I did right here for this conversion is the easiest way possible that you can do it. If you give me a second, I'll undo this. I don't want to scratch my lens. So this socket is the same as this socket there, and they were the same as these here. So the same sockets for the brake lights I'm using for here. This one is a direct fit. This one calls for a different style plug. But as you can see, what I did here to make this one work, put that bulb down, is there's little tabs. There are small little tabs that I had to sand down, and I'll get the other light to show you. But I sanded them down so that these 0204 bulbs both bulbs would work. And then that prevented me from having to clip this harness from the 0506 with this new socket. And the way I corrected that through the making them light up and all that was how I mentioned earlier, where you would cut the turn signal and tap it to the outside light here. And that's the easiest way I found. You don't have to chop the harness up that much. You don't have to buy as many sockets, and basically you get to use basically all the sockets from the 0204 and on the 0506. The only socket you might need if you don't have the running lights, you would need the sockets for the reverse lights, and I'll throw that up there. So yeah, that's it for that. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick comparison. So this is the this is the hole that I sanded down. Get a good look at that if I can get it in the light. There's two small little tabs on these that you want to, let me see if I can get it in the sun so you can see. Okay, so you see these two small tabs, one in this top corner right there, the really skinny tab. There's one small really skinny tab right down there. All I did was sand those down or cut those off, and then your 0204 bulb will fit right in there. So that's the only tabs that are preventing you from putting the 0204 bulb in there, and you just break those off or sand them down and then they'll fit. Okay, so moving on to the mounting the actual taillights. There's actually, I drilled two holes. I believe this is it. As you can see here, I'll go like this. So these two holes matched up with the 0506, and let's see here, this was one hole and then this was the other hole. So these two holes were the other holes for the 0204. They didn't line up on 0506. I had to drill this hole, and then also you don't really have to, it kind of, the other stud kind of sits right here at the edge of it. I just drilled this out so it would sit a lot more flush. But these are the two holes that I drilled that you need to mount your 0506. So you can drill this one, and then you can either drill this one or you can cut that stud off if you wanted to, if you didn't want to drill this part. But it wasn't that bad. I just drilled these two holes, and then the headlight fits right in it, and then you bolt it down. Well, that's it. Okay, so I got this one, the driver's side completely buttoned up. This is what she looks like. Everything fits really nice. There's no gaps here. Everything's sitting flush. Looks really good. Alright, so I'm gonna walk you through this a little bit. I'm gonna try to go in a little bit more depth of what I did, since this is still the stock side. I haven't done anything to this side yet. So this is the stock complete 0204 harness, and I'm trying to walk you through it. So this one right here would have been your reverse light here for the stock 0204. This one would be a brake light. This one here, this 3-wire is brake light. Both of these 3 wires are brake lights. This next one right here would be your turn signal. I'm sorry, no, this is going to be, I believe this one's your turn. Yeah, this one's going to be your turn signal. This one's your daytime running lights. So what I did there, so that's what each of these plugs do. So this, for your reverse light, to put the 0506, what I did was I just cut this completely off, cut this connector completely off, and then you're going to rewire your 0506 rear connector from the harness to this one. You're going to leave this one alone. You're going to do something with this. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get these situated. There we go. So just let me be clear. Let me see here. Yeah. So you're gonna cut this green wire from this one, because we're not using this one at all. This was your old turn signal for the 0204. So you're gonna cut this green wire completely off from this. So cut that, and then you're gonna tap that green wire that you cut off on the harness side, not this plug side. On the harness side, you're gonna tap it to this white wire right here on your rear brake light right here. So you're gonna cut this green wire, tap it there, and that's it. You're not gonna use this one. You're gonna use this one, and this one's gonna be like a daytime running light if you go to install this on your 0506. So I'm not using these right now. I'm not doing my daytime running lights. So these are the 3 plugs I'm using. This one you're cutting off, putting the new 0506 plug on that one, using this one, and then using this one with that wire, green wire, tapped to the white wire here. And that's how I did my wiring for this. There is another way you can do it. It requires you to use a different connector for the turn signal, but I found this is the easiest way, the least amount of cutting and rewiring, and you get to use your stock bulbs from the 0204, the brake light bulbs. So that's a little bit more explained in depth of how to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out so I can get the light on like that side, and then we get to throw on the bumper. Alrighty, everything's on, all buttoned up. How she looks. Super clean. Like I said, I like the straight tail lights and headlights on the 0506 instead of the little loops or the little bubbles. I just like this a lot better. Yeah, super clean. And I have all 3 bulbs on this side. This one, as you can see, I don't have nothing in there right now. I thought I had another daytime running light for the tail lights, but I only had one in my 0204 headlight or tail lights, so I wasn't able to do this. So I'm gonna have to order that socket. But I got the plug wired up in the back, so all I have to do is once it comes in, throw it in and plug it up. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and test it for you guys, make sure everything works. So I'll hit the brake, so you'll see all 4 lights come on, the 2 outsides on both sides. I'll throw it in reverse. This one's not gonna come on because I don't got the socket, but that one should come on. I'll do my right turn signal, my left turn signal, and we'll just test it out. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I did want to note that when I was just testing it, I actually, when I was putting this bulb in, actually broke the filament in it, so that's why this one didn't light up. And then you already know I don't have the other socket for this one, so that's why this one didn't light up. But everything works like it's supposed to. I do want to reiterate, when you're doing that wire, cutting the green one, jumping it to the white one, you also need to cut the white one as well. So basically you're connecting the green wire to the white plug or the socket. So you want to completely cut the white wire as well. I didn't do a good job of showing that, but I just wanted to reiterate that, because if you don't do that, you'll get some funky lights going on when you turn your signals on and stuff like that. So cut the green wire for the turn signal on the stock 0204 harness, and then cut the white one for the actual brake light, and then attach it to the white one. So yeah, you want to do that. But that will conclude this video. Hopefully this video helped y'all to, I guess, the wiring portion of it, because I know that's the trickiest part about doing this. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy. The wiring is probably the hardest part in my mind. So hopefully I did a good job of actually explaining that to you. If not, just leave me a comment. Maybe I can walk you through it there or help you with any of the questions you have. But yeah, be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And my next video I'll probably be working on soon will be the duckbill, which is actually right here. So we got the duckbill here. I'll be taking this wing off right here, as you can see, the APR wing, throwing that duckbill on, doing some stuff like that. So yeah, be sure to be subscribed so you'll be notified when I post that video. And yeah guys, I'll see y'all next time.